Hello everyone, I'm Amri, co-founder of Recruiterflow. So at Recruiterflow, we have recently launched a very powerful revenue tracking feature that allows you to track revenue across different engagement types. Earlier, while being a Recruiterflow customer, you could track your revenue for contingent type of recruiting or engagement model, but now you can track your revenue for retained contracts, for RPO. For contingent, earlier you could track your revenue on the basis of the salary that a candidate gets. You can get certain percentage of that as your commission and then track that. But now you can also track your revenue for retained contracts as well. So let's say if you place someone, you can add a revenue milestone there. If you send someone for client interview or if the client interviews a candidate, you can set up a revenue milestone there. If they start, set up a revenue milestone there. Or even let's say if candidate starts or 90 days after they start, you can set up a revenue milestone. All of this can easily be set up, tracked, and then seen on Recruiterflow within a few clicks. Similarly, for contracts, now you can track various contracts. So you can see which contracts have expired, which are currently live. You can define the contract duration, working hours, how many days in a week or a month the candidate is supposed to work, and also define pay rate and bill rate, which again would be used for tracking revenue for that contract. It will not only track your current revenue, but also project, depending on the contract period, how much revenue are you supposed to get in future as well. And for RPO, if someone gives you an RPO contract, you can define your bill rate, you can define the RPO contract period, and you can see all of that details on the job page as well as on the revenue report. Now, let me quickly jump onto Recruiterflow and show you how this can be achieved. So here I am on the jobs page, ready to set revenue tracking feature up. You can either create a new job or just open up a job to add this information. So you can see here, we have now introduced a new tab here called billing. You can also access this tab from here. Just click here on add now or click on billing. You will come here. Out here, you can choose from different engagement types. So let's say if you choose contingent, you can add various details. So you could add what is the expected salary for this placement. Now, obviously, this is the expected salary. And when you place someone, you can define what the salary is and what your exact commission is. But this is just to make sure that when you place a candidate, we have the default values already populated there so that your team doesn't miss out on these important details. So I can define what is the expected salary for this candidate. Let's say it's $120,000. I am going to get 20% of this as my commission. And then I want all that revenue to be attributed to the person who moved the stage to hired. Just hit save. And then when you place someone, this data will be auto populated on the placement record. Obviously, you can change details there and track your revenue. For retained, let me just quickly change this to retained type of engagement. So here you go. I just added retained. Now I've just changed the engagement type to retained, and now I can track different milestones that are there inside my recruiting process and assign different revenue attributes to it. So I just click on add tranche. Now I can choose from various milestones like when the job was opened, when a candidate moves to a certain stage, when they're hired, when they start, or let's say if I forget to add any certain milestone, I can just choose a custom date and attribute a revenue on that date. Let me just quickly choose when job is opened is as fast as this. So you can just add the revenue and whenever the job is open, this revenue will be attributed. If I choose candidate moves to stage, I can then choose which stage, if the candidate moves, I get that milestone or I hit that milestone. So let's say if I move a candidate to company submission stage, I get $4,000 for that candidate. Now, I can attribute this revenue to user moving the stage, which is the most frequent use case, or I can attribute it to the account manager, recruiter, custom user. And the moment I define all this parameter, I can just hit save. Now, this milestone has already been set. If I, let's say, want to add a new milestone, just click on add tranche. Now, let's say I get the next milestone payment when the candidate stage moves to hired and I get it on the same day. Let's say I get, when this happens, I get another $15,000. Now this time I want to again attribute it to user moving the stage to hired. I just select that from here and hit save. That's it. Now, let's say I want to add another milestone wherein I get paid when the 90 days after the candidate starts. You can define the start date when you place a candidate. So it's pretty easy that way. And now, when they start, after 90 days, I receive the final tranche of, let's say, $26,000. In this case, I want to again assign it to user moving the stage. But let's say I also want it to be attributed to me as well. Because hey, I'm the one who fought for that placement. So I'll just attribute 50% to this person, 50% to myself, and hit save. That's it. So this is how you can essentially define various milestones for retained type of placements. And you can keep on adding more tranches to this. And whenever this criteria is satisfied by a candidate or by that job, that revenue is automatically added. You can then obviously move to contract. For contract, you can define the contract period, your pay rate, bill rate, and that will help you track revenue. So you can define the expected contract start date. Again, this is expected date. So when you actually place someone, you can define what the actual contract date is for the candidate. So let's say in this case, the expected start date is 1st of October 2024, and the expected end date probably is I think 31st of March. Let's go ahead with that. I can change this value. Payroll unit, I can either choose per hour, per day, per week, per month. For the sake of convenience in this case, let's just choose per week. So my pay rate out here is, let's say, $1,500 per week. And my bill rate in this case is 20,000 per week. And the candidate would typically work 2 weeks per month, not more than that. I can, depending on the payroll you need to choose here, you can choose how many hours per day, how many days per week, or how many days per month they work. And you can also choose which are the working days. This helps us track revenue on these parameters. So let's say if a candidate starts on Thursday, the revenue won't be calculated for this week because they're only supposed to work on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Again, once I define these parameters, I can just choose to whom this revenue should be attributed. In this case, let's say job recruiter, and hit save. Obviously, in cases for like in contract or in contingent, these are just the placeholder values. So the moment you place someone, you see the placement record or the contract details section where you can customize this information and add more details. And the last bit is RPO. So for RPO, you, let's say if someone outsources you the entire recruitment process, you can define the search start date, search end date, how much are you going to get paid. So let's say I'm going to get $300 or probably $200 per hour. I'll be working 2 hours per day, 3 days per week, and only 15 days per month. And I can choose these 3 days out of any Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. That's it. I just hit save, and now this data has been saved. Now, if you want to track this revenue report, you can just click on the job name and head to the billing tab to actually see. So, if you remember, we had changed the job engagement type to RPO and added all these details since the job started on 11th of March, because that's the date it was opened. So, it's tracking its revenue from 11th of March, and the job hasn't been closed because I chose the option search end date is when job is closed. So this job is still open, and this is the amount of revenue I have made till now. So if you change engagement types, you can see all the revenue which has been booked for this job out here under the billings tab. And when you place someone, you can obviously again track, define different details. Like in this case, this is an RPO, so you can define all these details out here. And let's say for contract or contingent job, you can define the contract start date, end date, pay rate, bill rate, working days, all of that information out here itself. That's it. So this is how you can add different details for various engagement types and see that on the job billing page. And currently we are in the process of supporting this advanced tracking on revenue report as well. We expect it to be released by August, mid or end. So once we have that, you'll be able to slice and dice that data in a better way. That's it. We hope you love this feature, and do let us know if you have any feedback. We would love to help you track your revenue and track your business in a better way. Thank you.